Hello, everyone. It is time to talk comic books with the Off the Rack Boys. Yes.
It is time.
It is time. I am Daniel Villalobos to my left.
Joshua Potter.
To my right.
John Hudson.
Yeah. All right. So, we're all pumped up because it's been a while since we've all gotten together and talk nerdy, talk comic books. Make sure you check out. It's already posted our whole Way We Nerd return episode, where we're going to discuss something from that pod, and we're getting more in depth on this one. Because it has directly deals with what we're doing here. Getting all arm deep in that bitch. So anyway,
what you brought there. It's nice.
Ooh, I know, right?
Not to get distracted. I'm sorry.
We're going to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
Real quick, because I don't want to forget to do this. Right now, we were recording at the awesome Black Cat Comics in Burbank on Magnolia. If you want to go come relive your childhood, come to Kyle's shop. Kyle Bentley, our friend, and has been so gracious to let us record our pod here.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle.
For all you people, he's up front right now. The store is actually open, so we might see some customers come through, which would be kind of fun. You can see a working comic book toy store.
With a working comic book pod.
Exactly. And just real quick, and just in case you're just going to show him real fast, I just bought this from Kyle today. This is Darefleck. Because I actually like the Daredevil movie with him. The director's cut, just like BVS, the director's cut of Daredevil is better than the original because it fills in some story holes that shouldn't have been there.
This is so long, though. This is so long.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being that long in that movie at all.
It probably isn't.
Well, the toy needs the extra support, so it might have to do with the physics.
Plus, he usually carries it farther down.
This is why
I'm giving a legitimate answer.
It's carrying the weight of the movie on its.
I was avoiding that, but I was saying literally. I think that the figure would rest on it as a little. It is more
clearly his belt. His belt is not doing anything.
We got a little plumber's crack for Darefleck.
Oh, that's what won Garner over right there.
But anyway,
that won him Garner, if nothing else. I'll tell you that. So
to be fair, I don't hate that movie either, like a lot of people do. I think it's fine. You know, is it the Daredevil movie the fans wanted? Clearly not.
Yeah,
but
still, it was an entertaining movie.
Ben Affleck was fine. I think he's much better as Batman.
Batfleck
is better than Darefleck.
Yeah,
so.
I really like.
Well, he was still young then. He was learning.
He was, but
he didn't have that grizzled.
I also really enjoyed Jennifer Garner as Elektra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so, definitely rolling in the superheroes and leather fad of the 90s until...
the Elektra movie was much worse.
I enjoyed the visual... I enjoyed the tattoo villain. I thought that was kind of cool.
That's fair. That's fair.
If we're trying to be positive, silver side of the coin.
It's better than the Halle Berry Catwoman, which is the comic book movie. Everyone wants to get that one.
I will full on hate that movie. Not Halle Berry. I don't hate Halle Berry.
She's fine. Of course not. She gave it her all, but it's just the idea of it was just.
It's rough.
Turds in the head.
And the costume looked very porno. It looked like the porn version of its own movie.
Well, clearly the script wasn't good, so they figured they got to go all in on the costume.
She did look hot. I will say that.
If we can bring in middle-aged men, we will win this thing. I shit you not.
It will be ours.
So, anyway, so what do we got up first, Potter? Should we the comic book news? Or do you want to save that since that's kind of the big part of this pod?
It is a big part of the pod. Let's do our wall books.
Let's do that.
Oh, not wall books. Sorry, new books, and then lead into you go first. You should go
I'll
first.
go first.
All
right.
So lead us into other stuff.
I've got something that I've been reading and something I'm excited to start reading. This is to start reading. This is the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Show all the cameras. We got 3 cameras, folks. This is
you're an amazing Vanna White.
You guys are really good. Or like the Price is Right girls.
I couldn't turn her letters.
You gotta
Bob Barker's ladies.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Fantastic Four, or it's a grim noir. So it's Ben Grimm, like in a little.
It's a hard-boiled detective, 1930s,
trench
40s.
coat,
Yeah.
Fedora.
Yeah.
And even though it does take place in the modern continuity, the way it's drawn and everything is very noirish.
I'm so glad I had Kyle pull this for me because this is going to be awesome.
I just pulled it right now. I wish I would have remembered. So it's by Ron Carney and Gary Dugan, and I'm pretty sure Ron Carney is the artist on it, and Matt. Milla as the
Gary Dugan
color artist.
is definitely the. Actually, let me see, color artist. Oh yeah, maybe.
This is Matt Milla, color artist. So that's obviously.
I guess
Gary Dugan's
would be.
Yeah,
no, he's a writer. Yeah,
he's just a writer.
He's writing Savage Avengers.
But it looks like him.
Right now.
They co-wrote the story, or at least it sings.
Nice.
Yeah. It's crediting them as co-storytellers.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah.
That's great. A lot of books are doing that now.
Yeah.
Where it's
like Snyder and Capullo worked on the stories together. Like it was mostly Snyder.
Yeah.
Capullo will give him that credit, but at the same time, Capullo was very involved in the writing of the story.
Well, there's only so many Schuster and Kane v. Finger cases that can go by before you start having this come up. So
true that, sir.
I mean, yeah, it's an equal effort. I mean, like the visuals and the storytelling, the narrative are equal components to what make these things fly off the shelves.
Absolutely, yeah.
The other book that I'm enjoying, or actually I'm reading because I haven't read this one yet, is The Amazing Mary Jane by Leah Williams and Carlos Gomez and Carlos Lopez, two Carloses, as the artist and inker, respectively.
Yep.
So this is basically spinning out of the Amazing Spider-Man run that's going on by Nick Spencer, which is also fantastic.
It is. Yep.
His run, like he had to follow up Dan Slott, and he's doing a damn good job.
Yeah. How do you follow Dan Slott?
So now Mary Jane,
right? Good luck for it.
She doesn't necessarily have powers, but she's she can shoot the web shooters.
She's smoking.
And she can swing, and she's still smoking hot. And Face It Tiger, I think was the name of the first issue, which of course it was. Just Face It Tiger, not even you hit the jackpot. But
love it.
Mary Jane has always been one of my favorite Spider-Man, or I should say, comic book heroines, because she is a heroine. She's not just a damsel in distress. She helps even if she doesn't have powers, which she also keeps Peter Parker in line as he needs to be in line, because that dude's priorities kind of get messed up every once in a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because he's still a kid dealing with, even when he's an adult, he's still a kid dealing with all the issues of being a superhero. Well, so those are. Sorry, go ahead.
Now I was going to ask, did either of you ever read Spider-Man Reign? REIGN?
I've read a few issues of it, but I didn't read the whole thing.
It's Spider-Man's swing at a Dark Knight Returns kind of tale.
Yeah.
Actually, if you haven't read it, I don't know what I would want to say here. Other than
I'm familiar. I know the story. I just haven't read all the issues by themselves, but I know the plot.
Well, this is mainly just for a kind of a reveal in the book. It happens like a third of the way through. Okay. Basically, Mary Jane's been dead. Spider-Man revisits the grave and reveals that it was her connection and her intimacy with him that led to her death.
Which is obviously Spider-Man's always been his biggest fear.
Yeah. Exactly.
The radioactive. Well, it's the
that part.
The radioactivity is in all of his fluids.
Yes.
All of his fluids.
All of them.
Yeah. We just went real sex ed class on you guys.
But the only reason I bring that up, I needed to give that slight kernel of information, because with a title like Amazing Mary Jane, do you guys think that this, if she does develop powers, it could be preliminary signs of the radioactive influence on her DNA before it inevitably kills her?
Could be.
I could see that happening.
I'd be okay with them telling that story.
Would you guys be horrified if she ends up like getting powers and you think, oh my god, this series is going great, now she's super powered, and you have 2 years to live, like almost like a Jane Foster kind of thing?
No, I think that's interesting. I think that makes there's stakes.
Yeah,
you know? I think that's really cool. Yeah.
But on top of that, then you could always have the argument like, oh my god, we're in the Reign universe.
So not only can Peter Parker can't keep father figures, he can't keep his loved ones either, like his true loves.
Yeah.
Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane.
He used 2 web lines, not one fool.
So the only one that he can really hook up with is that one...
Silk.
Yes, Silk. Who he has
Moon. What's her name?
Was it Moon? I thought it was June.
Is it June Moon?
It's June.
No, that's...
They can't keep their hands off each other.
Because
they're 8 legs off each other.
Dr. June Moon. Isn't that's DC villain. Suicide Squad.
I'm afraid to keep going down this path.
I don't know. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to stop right now. You know what I can do, though? Speaking of Jane Foster.
Yes, Jane Foster.
Segue into the new books. No, I'm done.
Finish that? Okay.
No, it's your turn, Potter.
One of my favorite new books at the moment is Jane Foster, Valkyrie. It is very, very, very amazing. The reason it's amazing right now is probably because...
Just for that camera.
Yeah, I know. Probably because it's written... Well, it was begun being written. That is very... I said that all wrong. I'm going to try that again.
It was being written...
Al Ewing started it.
Yes.
So Al Ewing from Immortal Hulk fame and several other comics.
Savage Avengers, which I love.
No, that's Dugan.
Are you sure?
Dugan's doing Savage Avengers.
Oops.
Yeah.
Al Ewing he did the one before, the No Road Home, Avengers No Road Home.
Yes, and he's doing Guardians right now.
He's doing Guardians,
which has been great so far. all one issue that I've read. I'm going to read 2 today. Anyway,
enough.
I haven't won any. Just read any.
Valkyrie, so it continues Jane Foster's story, and if you don't know, shame on you. But also, we're not shaming on this pod. Jane Foster becomes Thor for a little bit, obviously, when the Odin son is unworthy to carry the hammer and wield the powers.
Yes.
So she becomes worthy, and this is one of the coolest things about Erin's run is the powers that she has are also killing her, essentially. Like she's got cancer, and she just can't handle it. She can't stay alive. So every time she changes into Thor, it's progressing the cancer, if I remember properly, which is brilliant bit of storytelling. So anyway, she comes out of that. She goes into remission through some of the big events that have happened recently, and now she feels at a loss after what? Oh, it's after War of the Realms. War of the Realms happens. She becomes Thor again for a second. And then she doesn't know what to do with her life. So she's helping out at the hospital, and then she comes across the All Weapon, which is this weapon that can change into whatever she needs at the time. And it's whatever, I know, right? It's an all weapon. So because Valkyrie is dead, she dies. I think she dies during War of the Realms, or
it's during it, I believe, isn't it? Or
no, it's before. I think it's during. She's dead during Asgardians of the Galaxy, that run. So I think it's during. Dang, I don't remember how long she's been dead. It's been a while.
You can come on back here.
So she's been dead. So she becomes the new Valkyrie in place of Brunhilde, which she was also friends with. So it's kind of this whole circular storytelling. It's very cool. So
you don't have to read it anymore. Potter just gave you the whole story.
I know, I did. Yeah, right. The eighth issue just came out. I don't remember when Jason Aaron took over, but Jason Aaron is writing it now, which I'm ecstatic over because he's one of my other favorite writers at the moment. Moving on, that was a big long spiel about Valkyrie, but it's because I love it so much. It's so well done, and that's not to discredit the artists on it either. It's got some fantastic artists. So the other book, I actually haven't picked this up yet, but I've heard good things about it. And this will lead into a larger discussion about the fate of the DC universe as far as publishing goes, which we can talk about after a short break. Yeah. But Justice League Odyssey. So Darkseid is back. Here's here, kind of. Anyway, Justice League has been great. Scott Snyder just finished his run on Justice League.
I want to read that.
Yeah, the last issue I have that, and it's fantastic. And now
this Dan Abnett, he's like old school.
Well, let's see. I think.
Or does he have a relative now?
Yeah, Dan Abnett. Yep, yeah, that's another reason why I wanted to read it.
He's old school. Yeah,
Abnett's great. So
he's done a ton of
there's the camera going off. That's cool. We'll finish this up. So anyway, we'll talk more about this and the DC universe when we come back from a break.
Yes, we will. See you soon. We are back, everybody. Off the Rack, Way We Nerd podcast out of the beautiful Black Cat Comics in sunny Burbank, California.
Yes. Gray, cloudy Burbank at the moment.
Yes, but it's still that's especially when it feels the best.
There's sun above the clouds.
Yeah,
a little early, but
no rain because it doesn't rain in Southern California.
Yeah. No.
Before we get back into it, I just want to notice all the toys that Kyle has here. Number one, are awesome, so that you guys got to check them out to believe me.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah.
But I was looking at some of the bad movie toys he has. Like in other words, the movies that were bad but had toys like Wild Wild West. He's got 2 Wild Wild West figures, which is 2 more Wild Wild West figures than I have ever seen in my entire life, and I kind of want them, even though I don't like the movie. And the same thing with his Battlefield Earth, which I don't know. Maybe he sold it. I don't know where he is.
No, he's still there.
He's not.
Yeah,
don't worry, that's still there.
Yeah, the John Travolta character from Battlefield Earth, one of the worst movies ever made. I kind of want that toy, I got to say. But anyway, let's get back to our. So we did new books. So now it's time. John's gonna.
Anyway.
Wait.
I was just gonna finish up about Justice League real quick.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. At least the DC comics side of things. So, in addition to Justice League, other great DC books right now. Aquaman is still fantastic.
Yeah, Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Yes, she's amazing. And
she's writing
Roca is doing the artwork for that. He's great. And then Grant Morrison is still writing Green Lantern, which has been fantastic.
Yep, I love that book. He really made him like cops in space. Like it's like legit cops in space.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Which is what Green Lantern Corps always was.
I also really want to read Far Sector too, which I don't think Kyle has at the moment, but it's about a Green Lantern that's far off in the universe.
Is it Grant Morrison as well?
No, I don't remember who's writing it, but it looks amazing.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of great DC books out there. I just feel like we always give Marvel love on this pod. Which,
hint, hint,
which
AT&T.
is great,
hint,
but
hint.
DC is good too, which brings us to our big news of the pod.
Well,
I will bring up the point that I can't help but notice, gentlemen. Despite the verbal shout-out, if you look at all the books that were recommended, we have 3 Marvel and 1 DC. Now, that could be an indication that with the recent firing of Dan Didio, or Didio, there's a couple of D's and I's and some O's in there.
Yeah.
But regardless,
a great man.
Yes.
He's
been around since Jim Lee. I mean, he was co-publishing with Jim Lee since 2000 or something.
Something like that.
Or before that, maybe.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know if it's been that long.
With his firing, essentially.
It's the end of an era.
Yeah, the end of an era, and that means that DC may or may not be able to continue publishing DC Comics. Now, this is just completely a rumor at this point in time.
And it's not because of him, but his firing has sparked...
Yes.
The downsizing of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the rumor that I've been hearing on the street, and you maybe have been reading, was it Cosmic Book News, I think is what it was, it's the first one to do it, which... They have a track record, which is why definitely grain of salt, sugar, whatever you want to put with this to make it go down with awareness.
Yeah.
But the thought is that if DC's newest reboot of the new 52, the 5G, is not successful, they will potentially close the DC publishing wing. They will still take advantage of their assets in both television and film media, but the publishing house as we know it may not continue. So, gentlemen, this is what I put to you. What do you think of that?
I'm very depressed. I won't lie. I'm going to get right out and say it because, like, I collect about 10, like we were talking about on the other pod.
Way We Nerd. On the flagship. Plug that. Yeah. Check it out.
I collect about 10 to 12 DC books a month. You know, obviously, probably 6 out of those 12 are Batman or Superman books. But at least related. But I mean that's fine.
Bat Family.
Just like I same thing with Spider-Man. I read pretty much all the Spider-Man, all the Spider-Men and Spider-Women, all Spider-Man. There's so many of them.
Official vocab guidelines suggest that we say Spider
titles. But this is about
Spider-Verse.
Yes, Spider-Verse. But this is about DC, and DC obviously they're not going to sell the publishing. Because in order to do that, anybody who wants to buy it's going to want to buy the movie and TV rights, and they're not going to lose that.
No,
because their movie and TV shows, the TV shows are doing really strong. The movies are kind of hit and miss now. Like Wonder Woman and Aquaman did really well.
They did.
Suicide Squad did well despite reviews.
They're striking.
Birds of Prey, which is really good, by the way, and it's still out there, so go see it. Like Birds of Prey is really good. It's just I think the problem was they might not have, probably shouldn't have leaned into the R. Because there's a lot of kids who like Harley Quinn and those characters that you didn't really need to rated R, even though it was funny that way.
Yeah,
it could have gotten away with a PG-13 because Margot Robbie's a strong enough actress to carry that.
Yeah,
and all the people that surrounded her with were really good too. So
I actually haven't seen it. Have you guys seen it?
I haven't seen Birds of Prey yet.
Come on back. You don't have to be shy. Yeah. Come on back.
Well, if it was rated R, do you feel like what was in the movie justified that? Not to go off on too much of a tangent, but do you feel like it was justified?
I mean, but the thing is the R-rated stuff that they had in it were kind of just shock value.
Oh, okay. So
like, it was just like if they took it out, it wouldn't have taken away from the story or anything else.
All right. So just shock over substance, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just one of those things, and it wasn't marketed very well. That title was awesome, but way too long. Yeah. Which they rebranded it in the last couple of weeks. It's called Harley Quinn Birds of Prey now.
Yeah.
Or they're referring it to as that. The title hasn't officially changed. Just referring to it that, just the way they did with the Ghostbusters.
Oh, really? I thought
they did Answer the Call, which was never the title.
Tom Cruise. I thought they could
Edge of Tomorrow,
Live, Die, Repeat, or something
Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah. That's what everybody thought was titled. That's what the new movie's titled, the sequel.
Yeah. So. Well, good. Man. I thought it was a perfectly good title. I was pissed when they scrapped it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So they didn't scrap it. They just didn't. They didn't realize that people were thinking that was the title because that was the tagline.
Oh, is that what?
Which is what Answer the Call was for Ghostbusters, but. They made the subtitle.
Yeah.
What am I to believe? What am I to believe?
But that was it. But it would go live, die, repeat, and then it would say Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But nobody would remember the Edge of Tomorrow part. And then on the poster, it was live, die, repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
I feel like I had one of those Mandela effect moments with that though, because I was like, I feel like this is a different movies.
Wait, Mandela effect. That's what the thing I was thinking about, where it's like where everybody is convinced that he says, "Luke, I am your father," even though he doesn't.
Yeah, it's where
There's a movie.
There's
about
a massive group of people that misremember something.
Yes. Oh my God, I've been wanting to talk about that on the podcast.
Depending on where you are in the multiverse theory. Yes, that's
yeah.
Well,
oh my God,
bring it back to DC now.
Yes, exactly. Exact Tangent City. This is what I was afraid of.
I know.
Anyway, bring it back to
DC. But I just to finish it off, like I can't imagine, and Kyle says this on the Wavy Nerd flagship. He brought it up. Watch it. I can't imagine them shutting down Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman,
The Trinity,
forever. It's just they need to live in comic book form. And as I said on the other pod as well, my nieces like comic books. They don't even realize that they liked them until I took them to the bookstore, and the ones they bought were comic books. Although they call them comic books, so they say I like comic books. So and they're 7 and 9, so there's not and kids, and they're about to be 8 and 10, so kids can still be into this medium, and it needs to not go away, because I'm not saying that DC's shutting down is going to affect Marvel, but it might affect all the independent labels. I don't know. Although those are a little bit less, they have a little bit less at stake, I guess. Being
at the same time,
books.
Think of it this way. I mean, I know we're thinking I'm thinking of it from the biggest thing being Marvel's point of view, because it does have a tit for tat with them, because they are one of the great rivalries in, I would say, industry.
Yeah,
American industry, that is. I mean, they're up there with Macintosh and Apple, Coke and Pepsi. Yeah, McDonald's, Burger King.
Macintosh is Apple.
My Windows and Apple. I'm sorry,
Apple and Microsoft.
Apple and Microsoft. There we go. Thank you. Yes. But yeah, they're part of that echelon. And being part of that, while I do think it would disparage Marvel's brand a little bit not to have something to bounce off of, I also do not think that they should buy DC in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I don't enjoy that at all. That would be just meh.
Why? Because then we could have Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman against.
Well, no, that's an argument I was planning for the end of this section personally, but so if I can just get past that for a second, because I do want to come back. Go ahead.
I'm just kidding. I don't want them to happen. Oh, I keep doing that to you. I keep derailing you.
No, it's all right. It was oh God. Anyway,
you'll find it.
Well, no, it was the fact that
you're saying you don't. Yeah,
no. I'm back on. Basically, what I was saying was that even though DC does dip out, that does leave potentially an area for another brand to come in and sort of fill the void. If Marvel doesn't pick them up, which I don't think they should, and that leaves potential something to grow there. So maybe you could see a Dark Horse or an Image more rather, because they do have a superhero lineup that can fill the void.
Valiant might make a comeback with if Bloodshot's successful, the new Vin Diesel movie. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
The trailers
the trailers look great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if they're. I don't know. We'll see.
The reason I think that wouldn't work, to kill my own theory in the foot, is because basically the what's the word I'm looking for? The demand for the publishing is not there. If they were selling more books in print, I think that would be a solid argument to make.
Yeah.
But the reason this is being potentially thrown about is because of looking at the books and going, this is no longer a profitable part of our AT&T organization.
I think doing what they originally planned, where they said they were going to cut titles, and they were going to pare it down. I'm fine with that.
There are
because these characters can still exist in other.
Yeah.
Well,
but Marvel has triple the titles.
Oh my God, yeah.
At least
there's so many.
But they got mouse money behind them now. That's just it.
They do, but I don't think the publishing sells that well. It's just Disney's we don't. They can take that loss if there is a loss because of all their other stuff.
I'll tell you one thing that I've noticed, especially with Star Wars getting a presence in Marvel's publishing right now. The one thing that I think is keeping Marvel's publishing up is the fact that you have Disney World, you have Disneyland, places where people can come in who love this stuff and get a knickknack to take home.
Yeah,
a $4 souvenir is not that bad.
Oh,
when let people get their first comic, especially for so many damn things they have.
Yep.
And that's what being married to a little Disney, loving princess.
Yeah,
it is imperative that I go on a regular basis.
Taylor.
To these establishes. Hey Taylor, love you, baby. But what I'm noticing is there's a larger and larger presence of Marvel books printed and available for people at these places, and it's made me very happy because the first time I ever went to Disney World was 2005.
Yeah.
So I can say that I've been at least once every 2 years since then because of her need to return to Mecca. So basically,
hey, I got an annual pass. I'm okay with that.
It's a solid avenue, and that's why I think Marvel will be able to continue to do that. But we're back to DC at this point. Is what we're saying.
I wonder, and we'll leave this thought out, and then we can talk about it after another quick break, and talk about the mashup of Marvel versus DC characters, which is interesting because it's been done before.
We should do that.
Book form, yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. My only thought is with with guys like Jim Lee, who left DC to do Image, like, Jim Lee helped found Image, and a lot of those guys
were pissed at Marvel.
Todd McFarlane.
And people from Marvel, too, yeah.
Eric Larson was in there.
So I wouldn't necessarily say it's out of the realm of possibility that Image might look to help DC out, too, because you've got a lot of veterans there still, and just a lot of people.
They should license it. They should license their characters to the other companies, so they can write books on.
I think it's got to be all. I think it's got to be all or.
That'd be fun.
But I would like it to be all or one. I think. Or all or not. Like I would want to see,
like all of them go to Dark Horse, not like split them up between Dark Horse and IDW.
Because then you're running into a Marvel situation where Marvel sold off all the movie rights to their characters piecemeal to different places.
Yeah,
and when they're ready to, then it's hard to bring them all back.
They got to put a little bit of a buyout clause in there. It's like, if we decide to come back full force as DC, we get them all back when we want to, and we'll just pay you off for the rest of the time.
I wouldn't even go that far. I would do it project by project. You got something good for our characters? Let us know. You want to do Ghostbusters meet Superman? Give me a script.
Because you can even keep the DC name on it. You could say, like, Dark Horse presents a DC comic, and then...
Yeah. You could, or not. I mean, Superman's fought, and Batman have both fought aliens and Predator, as far as Dark Horse goes.
And Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, they're really cozy, exactly. They've got cozy connections everywhere. And
honestly, Darkness. Oh my God, Batman in the Darkness.
Yeah, and Superman in the Darkness.
That's right. I have that one too.
Yeah.
And truth be told, if DC Publishing goes down the way it's potentially rumor,
please AT&T, I'm still begging you.
Yeah. That may be the best way to see these characters, is like when they get licensed out, because if you're just sitting on those publishing rights, nobody picks them up, you're not going to just throw them in the trash. No. You're going to do it as projects come out, which, again, we talked about it on the way the Way We Nerd pod. Again, watch that if you haven't seen it already.
Yep.
But I think that if you had to break it down, and you did just a story at a time that you knew was knocked it out of the park, that could be solid on top of people licensing out the characters almost. Like the way, because I know Nintendo didn't own Sega right away, but they were licensed to use Sonic in a game before they officially went under. Because it was like the Mario and Sonic Olympics or whatever it was that was a series.
Yeah.
2011, 2012. So characters can kind of bounce in and still remain some autonomy to the company they're from. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be interesting.
They had a Green Lantern.
Have event comics.
They had a Green Lantern and Star Trek crossover a couple of years ago.
They did.
It was IDW and DC teamed up. Because labels do all the time.
IDW's doing great.
Oh, they're great. IDW is really good.
There's a Transformers and Star Trek crossover.
Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles.
There was a Doctor Who and Star Trek Next Generation crossover.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Awesome.
If you guys
every universe is together. They're all in the same world. They're all in the same universe.
That's what it boils down to. It's going to come down to Warner Brothers slugging it out with House of the Mouse at the end of days, and then whoever wins that Disney is going to basically have it.
Well, Disney's got to buy Sony first. So
the only way that I think Warner Brothers has a better chance if they absorb Universal, but this is an entirely different podcast at this time.
My God! If that happens, there's only going to be.
We can talk that.
Universal has to hold the line. Universal.
Yeah.
Well, they had some success this past weekend. I don't want to get too deep into it, but the Invisible Woman or Invisible Woman, Invisible Man, is because originally they titled it Invisible Woman. I don't know why. Even though she doesn't want to go invisible. But yes, anyway, it's a really great movie. Lee Wenhall directed, Elizabeth Moss star. It's really, really good.
Yeah, but see, that's what they should. This drives me nuts. When you come out and you make a big stink about how this is going to be the Mummy. We're going to start a whole series of monster movies, and you just and you ruin everything because you just said to everybody, just shut your fucking mouth, put the movie out. If it's great, we'll decide to go. I didn't mind the Luke Evans Dracula that came out that long ago.
No.
That was also in the.
No, I thought it was fun.
They did good on that. You could have tied them up. You could have shut your mouth about it being a fucking dark trilogy or whatever it was. Made your Mummy movie.
Dark Universe.
Yeah, Dark Universe. Thank you.
Dark Universe.
And then you have Invisible Man comes out a few years later. And then Antonio, what was it? Benicio del Toro did Wolfman 2.
That wasn't connected though. That was way earlier.
Well, it was way earlier, but you could have the precedence of bringing him back as like an older werewolf to fight somebody or some shit.
Yeah, they could. They could.
It's in the pudding, and you're just like, you came out and you blew.
The mistake was with the Mummy was when they originally pitched the Mummy, it was going to be like, this is going to be a horror movie Mummy as opposed to the Brendan Fraser awesome adventure series.
I love those movies.
Those movies
all three
awesome.
of them. I don't even care that the people hate the third one.
I don't hate it. I just missed Rachel Weisz. And all due respect to the actress, I can't think of her name all of a sudden. Oh my God.
Yep.
Who?
Oh my God.
The actor?
The third
Mummy
actress.
3, who plays his wife.
I couldn't even tell you.
I know her. Oh my God.
She's a great actress.
She's a really good actress.
She was in The History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen.
Yes.
Oh my God, she's an amazing actress. Oh my God, I cannot believe can't think of her name right now.
And now it's that other pod.
But but anyway, just the only reason I was just going to say they should have kept it horror then instead of and then no, because this kind of pertains to what we're talking about because all these companies are trying to do the Marvel model. You know, they're trying to do the Marvel model where everything's interconnected, and Marvel's just doing it right. And it's just kind of hard to copy that, which DC found out. So now they're leaning more into the individual stories. So, you know, maybe they should do that with the comics too. You know, just make it like make like 12-issue runs of each character, and like just let a writer and a creator, or one of the or a writer and an artist, you know, or have one do both, like as some artists do and writers. Yeah. You know, it just 12 issues, one story. Just like we got with the Long Halloween and some of the best Batman stories. Wait, was that 12 issues?
No, that was more than 12 issues.
More. I'm calling it. They're going to go under for a little bit and come back as DC All-Stars. And tail by tail, one thing.
Boom.
So I'm still a big fan of... I'm a DC Universe subscriber, you know. I love all the cartoons.
I like both.
Titans is a great show. I hear Harley Quinn is amazing. I can't believe I haven't started writing.
Yeah.
I can't believe I haven't been watching it. So.
Yeah, I never have ever disliked DC. It's just I tend to read more Marvel because I latched onto Spider-Man as a kid.
You
so
can admit it. It's okay.
You're
in a safe place.
No. But
you can love both. And I sent you guys an article. I listened to an article the other day that a young lady wrote. I wish I could remember her name. I want to say her name's Stephanie something, but I can't remember her last name. But anyway, she wrote an article about how you can be a Star Trek and a Star Wars lover at the same time.
Absolutely.
So Marvel and DC is the same thing. And you can also love Dark Horse and Valiant and all the other companies. Comics are just wonderful.
Have two kids and love one more.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's fine. You might
1 out of 10 parents
always have a favorite child, but you know, I mean...
That's horrible. Yeah.
I'm going to guess both you two are the least favorite child of your parents.
Nope, I was the favorite.
You were the favorite? Are you the baby?
No, I was the oldest.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I was the oldest. I'm definitely not the favorite.
I'm not the favorite. There's no favorite. Stop playing this. If they're watching this, do not take that seriously.
No.
I don't know. When I was young, and this is just a funny little anecdote, people would come to my house, and I was already graduated high school. It was my sister's senior year, and there's this big senior portrait of my sister over the fireplace. And everybody would walk in and it's like, oh, I can see who the favorite is. My mom felt so bad, she went and made the senior portraits of my brother, who wasn't even close to being a senior yet at the time, and then mine, and put them up like a couple years later. And she's like, no, I just hadn't had them done yet. And I was like, yeah, but Daniel was the oldest kid, so it's okay, Mom. We know, we understand. Plus, Erica's way more photogenic.
I'm sure she was happy to have a little baby girl, so, you know.
Well, the girl, my sister was always the favorite, for sure. For sure. My dad's nickname for her was Princess, for crying out loud.
Well,
I think no, I'm sorry, Angel, not Princess, Angel.
Almost interchangeable, within.
My brother was Devil, she was Angel, and I was the classic Champ.
Great, nice, great.
All right, back to comic books. Yes. So, I mean, did you finish up your thought? Or did I interrupted? Sorry.
No, I was done.
Okay, so come on back, man. Just. We've kind of said our piece on the DC publishing. Hopefully it doesn't go away, or like John says and Kyle said on The Way We Nerd, I hope it does come back somehow. Because I can't imagine Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and Flash and so many DC characters being out of print.
No.
They need to be in print. That's where they belong. That's where they started. Over 80 years of entertainment cannot go away.
If the 50s and 60s didn't kill them, nothing will. So you're fine.
Seduction,
if they survive Seduction of the Innocent, they will be fine at this point.
The digital transition will be a little bit... I think that they're going to push that more than they've had in the past. So, because every kid's got a tablet.
Yeah.
So why not have something for them to read on there?
Or a smartphone permanently attached to their hand.
A lot of these comic books are literature.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that people don't realize. They're not just funny books anymore. Like, they're literature.
Look at somebody like Eisner Award-winning Jeff Lemire, who is a huge comic book name. Like, he's fantastic. Or, as we've talked about, Saga of the Swamp Thing.
Alan Moore's,
Alan Moore is a literary master. So that's the thing. It's these are literature, and it's pop culture, and it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
So,
I still want to watch that show. I still want to watch that show on DC Universe, The Swamp Thing, which I heard is really good.
Yeah.
A friend of ours worked on it. Hi, Lauren. No, it got canceled, unfortunately, because they lost their freaking tax incentive. Yeah. It's all business related. It was
a big...
Because, come on, it was James Wan. Right? You put James Wan producing a Swamp Thing, that show's got to be good. There's no way it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
Exactly.
But anyway, at least showing potential. So we're going to take a break real quick, and then when we come back, Mr. Hudismus over here is going to nominate a wall book and a long box.
Don't show up yet.
Long box cafe. Yes. Big tease.
Ooh. And they're right. That's what it's about.
See you in a few minutes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Off the Rack, powered by The Way We Nerd. And so we're going to get into a couple things here as we close up the show. First, it's going to be John talking about a wall book for everyone to read. And if you guys don't remember, a wall book is a book that you want to display prominently on your wall, because whether you like the artist or the writer, or it's an expensive book, or it's just a key issue like the first appearance of Gambit or the first appearance of Dark Beast, which I just found I have.
Nice.
It's not worth that much yet, but I like Dark Beast. But anyway, he's basically an evil version of Hank McCoy.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Apocalypse. The best way I found to put a wall book up on the wall: take a nice big nail and just right through the center of it.
Yes.
You know, it's.
I did that when I was a kid.
It keeps it sturdy.
Before I realized things were valuable, I put two tack holes between in my Mark McGuire rookie card, which at the time was worth money. So that was, luckily I had two, but still, that was really stupid to do. Anyway, so he's gonna do a long wall book, and then we're gonna do a long box cafe where he's gonna tell us about a trade that he's got in his hands there that looks interesting.
But I
and
was
then after that,
drunk on my coffee.
Oh, don't worry, there'll be more room. And after that, Mr. Potter is going to show. Talk about a creator that he really enjoys that we should all be out there reading or looking at if he's an artist. I can't remember which one.
Maybe. If I feel like it. Yes. We'll see.
So let's give it to Mr. Hudismus for his...
Thank you.
What's the wall book? You want to start with that one or you want to start with the long box?
I actually like to do the long box.
Let's do the long box first.
Oh my.
It's funny you mentioned oh my, because the name of my book happens to be Lions, Tigers, and Bears.
Fear and Pride?
Oh, Fear and Pride, yeah.
Almost no mind.
But Fear and Pride. Now, the reason that I am recommending this series is because it is one that I have been trying to track down for many a year now,
nice.
And you can tell by the fact that it was once had lived a life as a library book.
Yay!
The little Dewey Decimal System down here.
Love it. Love it.
The Dewey Decimal System.
It's fantastic.
It also is a bit of a risk because even though I've never personally read it, I've been very interested in it because it is the basis of the series is a young boy and girl are being attacked by magical creatures from a gross realm. Goblins,
Love
these
it.
little werewolf things, big bucktooth looking goons.
Sweet.
And the way they are protected is their stuffed animals come to life in the form of lions, tigers, panthers. And the king bear, who you see here grabbing both of these ruffians by the collar and destroying them. Now, this is also a prominent book. I do believe it won the winner of the Discovery Prize at the 2007 Angoulême. Oh, I'm going to butcher that. Angoulême?
What? Where is it?
Angoulême? It's up here at the top.
Oh. Yeah.
No idea.
Angoulême.
Some kind of French word.
International Comics
Angoulême. We'll go with that. Sorry.
So it's got some clout.
So sorry.
But the reason that I do
French know art.
But the reason I do bring this to prominence and suggest it as a read is because it has been told to me and sold to me as one of the best all ages graphic novels out there. So if you are looking for something to kind of bridge the gap between people who may not be typical readers,
it's a gateway comic.
Exactly, very much. You trying to get your friends and family hooked? This could be just the way to start it.
You are such a bad influence.
Oh, shush. No, you don't even know about that.
I'm intrigued. I want to read after you do.
Absolutely, man. And you know what?
It looks like volume 1. Maybe there's more than one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They got tons of volumes on this stuff. And like like I said, it's a
new rabbit hole to fall down.
Yep.
I do have a story about how they were supposed to send me this one. Sent me volume 2, which is actually worth $40 on Amazon right now, which I was a little surprised about.
All right.
So I was like, hard to find.
Okay.
But because they did not send me this one, they actually gave me that one for free and then sent this one instead. So
nice.
I got both 2 for 1. But
fantastic.
The true meat and potatoes of my presentation, everybody at home, is as we see fit. Because the book that I have right here was, what do we call it? The wall book?
That's the wall book. Yes.
That's your wall book.
That's your wall book.
Yes.
Even though he doesn't have the actual issue to display.
I couldn't find it over here.
It's fine.
I got comics coast to coast, man. I'm not sure where they're at.
For that one, you just take a bolt, you drill a hole in it, and you can bolt it to the wall.
No, first you gotta crack the spine and really drive it in there.
Don't do that.
Hey, Hudson's parents, if you're watching this right now, the Hudson parents, go through all his books at home, see if you could find this book. I bet you they'd love that back in Virginia.
Oh God, yeah, no, they love doing that. Absolutely. Well, here's the tiny representation of it right there. There's the cover of it.
Oh wow.
We are talking
Omega Red.
Yes. Omega Red. We are talking issue 5 5 of Jim Lee and Chris Claremont's run on 1991's X-Men series.
Yes!
Seminal run.
Yes.
Seminal.
It's so good.
Absolutely. This is the storyline that introduces the Marvel Universe to Omega Red, done wonderfully with Jim Lee's pencils. We're experienced and given his backstory with Wolverine, why they hate each other so much, and we are...
why? Pray tell, why?
Oh, well,
Wolverine gets along with everybody.
Doesn't he, though? That's what I'm saying. Like, how can you hate
He's a cuddly teddy bear.
Like Cyclops, him and Cyclops are best buds.
Yeah, right?
He loves hanging out with Sabretooth, just getting a beard.
He's just like Danny DeVito with knives glued to his hands. It's great. But the reason I do...
I'm behind that casting.
Yes. I would pay money to see that.
Oh my
Good
God,
money.
can you imagine that? Have you seen it? People have done like him from Always Sunny with his hair fluffed up in the back. He's like, ah! I think it was the Wolverine from 2013 or the 2014's poster. Oh my God, so well done. So great. Look it up. The internet's a thing. It's there. But I digress, everybody.
Anyway.
The reason I do bring up this particular issue is not only does it look good on a wall because of the crisp, dark green background with a Wolverine fighting Omega Red in the snow, but because it is relevant, because I don't know if you guys have heard or not, and this was totally my segue in here. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I'm a little bit about the rumors in this.
I had a feeling
you were going.
I enjoy rumors, so I learned a lot from this Hudismus Prime guy whose videos I watch.
There it is. YouTube. He looks a lot like him.
Nah, I don't know about
weird.
He's a little more metallic.
He transforms in the show.
Mirror universe.
Yeah, right.
Hudson, I think.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What is this tasty rumor you're
These tasty
hearing?
rumors I'm seeing are involving the Falcon and Winter Soldier series that is destined to dawn our Disney Plus screens here before long. Now,
Sweet.
Take it with a grain of salt, but on 4chan there is currently an anonymous poster, which is why this always starts out so good and why they're rumors, who says that there is a scene revealed in the series Falcon and Winter Soldier where they're going into a bar, and in the bar it is compared to the cantina scene from Star Wars A New Hope, in that there are tons of costume people in the bar. You're not given the backstories on a lot of them, but you understand that it is a villain pub of sorts,
which has premiered in the comics many a time, and then it's in New York, right? Is it? Well, there's one in New York,
yeah, there is, but I'm not sure specifically where it is.
Right,
but within that realm,
but yes,
specifically to the people that are focused on are Omega Red and Bartok the Leaper. Batroc.
Isn't Bartok that little bat from?
Batroc is
Bartok.
Bartok. Oh, Bartok. Yes. Bartok from Anastasia. Yeah.
Batroc is George Baptiste.
Something like that. Yeah, and he's in Winter Soldier. Yeah. Doesn't he die in Winter Soldier?
No, he doesn't. Cat just kicks the shit out of him.
Beats him. I thought there was a little thing later where it's shown that he's been taken out, but...
Oh, like killed? Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe it might have been a deleted scene or something.
Maybe not. I'm thinking of Civil War when they take out Strucker.
Strucker, yeah.
I thought
Strucker
that was
pumped.
No, oh my God,
Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Age of Ultron. Sorry, not Civil War. Age of Ultron.
I thought it was going to lead to the other rumor that you were saying about that we set off pod about possibility of Superman being Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that too. Yeah, Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
I don't want him to not be Superman.
No. Omega Red was just the gateway drug into this, because this whole thing I was bringing up, and the reason I brought the entire graphic novel, not just the wall book, is because there is a slew of X-Men casting rumors right now in the MCU.
There are
a slew, and actually, if you want to check out the video that I made last September, because I called this shit months ago, you can go check it out on Hudismus Prime at YouTube.com.
Do it. We'll have a link to that on our page. Yeah. As he'll have a link to this show on his page.
Damn right I will. In that video,
cross promotion,
absolutely cross pollination. But in that video that I was mentioning, I do basically it's stuff is coming to fruition. There's rumors about Storm being in Black Panther 2. There's rumors about Rogue showing up in Captain Marvel 2.
Yep.
There's rumors of well, actually, this is for Captain Marvel 2 as well. The rumor going on the street is not only would Rogue, but potentially Wolverine would be recast as Henry Cavill in Captain Marvel 2. Which
doesn't mean he can't still be Superman.
No, actually, it
yes, would.
It that contractually would mean that.
That would kill it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Dang it.
And here's the thing: is I not that I wouldn't. I think Henry Cavill will knock it out of the park as Wolverine, but they really need to stop trying. They already had Wolverine tall. We need to see a shorter guy do it. Because I'm not saying that that's important to his character, but it's kind of like
It is.
he does kind of have little man syndrome.
No, it is.
You know, like that's why he's always so angry.
Like,
but
literally, Len Wein sat down, looked at the dictionary, it said Wolverine, short, hairy, feisty animal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me draw one as a
yeah,
man.
exactly. And
it's
he's always like hunched, you know, especially in battle mode. I love the fan art out there of Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine. I think Daniel Radcliffe would absolutely knock it out of the park. And to see him bulk up would be kind of hilarious as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And also impressive at the same time because he's a small framed man. He's probably no bigger than 5'6", you know. And back in the day, the idea was that Tom Cruise was the circling Wolverine, and he would have been a pretty decent Wolverine. Now, I'm not saying that. Obviously, oh my God, I love Hugh Jackman, and who doesn't love Hugh Jackman? That's a human being. Or at least a good human being. But remember, Hugh Jackman came, before you say Harry Potter can't be Wolverine, Hugh Jackman came from musicals and soap operas. Australian soap operas at that.
Yep.
So give him a chance. He's a good enough actor. Just like give Robert Pattinson a chance as Batman.
Yeah.
You know? So, anyway, that's kind of my piece on that. I think Henry Cavill deserves a true Superman movie before he bows out. One where, like, because he wants to do that, too.
Yeah.
So,
well, we finally got a little bit of that in Justice League, even though the rest of that movie was...
it's one of the things they got right.
Yes, they did. When he's coming in at the end and fighting and, all of that. Also, didn't Superman just have a birthday this weekend? I feel like... Or this last week?
He'd be like 80.
Like anniversary?
So he'd be like 82.
I think.
Because he premiered in 80, not 38. So...
I mean, I'm
his
not
80th
like
birthday
a big birthday, but just, Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All that's... Well...
No. You know who had a birthday is Green Lantern. Green Lantern's about to turn 80.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that Green Lantern's been around almost as long as Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Well, he has traded off though. Alan Scott.
It was the Alan Scott. This is the Alan Scott Green Lantern.
Yeah. So, getting back to Marvel though, as far as that stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna kick DC to the curb.
No, we did.
No, I'm just kidding. We love you, DC.
But speaking to the X-Men, this is what we all talked about as far as how to introduce the X-Men to the MCU.
Yep.
You don't go for the big team movie right away. You sprinkle them in and have them form their team just like they did with the Avengers. Maybe a couple of them get a solo movie. I think Wolverine would be a great solo movie, even though we've gotten a lot of Wolverine movies.
They didn't fight Hulk.
But yes,
I think the next
movie,
the villain.
Here's
the
thing, fellas. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna, you guys are gonna be right here in the creative process with the Way We Nerd crew, off the rack crew. Sorry. But that's the way we nerd.
Well,
anyway,
we're all part of the same family. It's fine.
It is how we nerd.
I think it's high time, since there's a lot of stuff coming up, we should create we should do an Infinity Watch. We haven't done a Marvel strict pod in a while, and then we can get to your theories about what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we should do that. And I also think we should have a DC one, and we talked about on the Way We Nerd, we're going to have a Star Trek one. Yeah. So, we got the Escape Pod, the Infinity Watch, Star Trek, DC, and Marvel. I think they all deserve their all mini pods because they're all yes. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, did you get everything you wanted to say about this, or did you have more on this?
Actually, no. I was just kind of use that as a segue to talk about the X-Men in the MCU.
Yes.
There's a lot of those.
I like that segue, but I think we should definitely get in depth that where we can also talk about casting, like who we would like to see what type of.
That was another rumor actually. I spoke about this. I can't remember the guy's name, but on YouTube, check it out in the comment section. There's also a rumor that Lady Mandarin, who is actually...
Oh, you said that, yeah.
Who's actually the Asian form of Psylocke when she switches over and Mojo turns her into mush or some convoluted crap.
Right.
I would need to read it again myself before I explain it fully, but supposedly she's going to show up in Shang-Chi. And put her there, so if they plan on doing that down the road, I like the seeds they're planting is what I'm saying.
Yes.
So that's what I thought was interesting.
But that's the smart way to do it, too.
Plus, I wanted to roll the idea of this by you. Speaking of Omega Red and starting there, what do you think... Because he almost made it into Deadpool. There's photos of a guy on set, Omega symbol, long flowing blonde locks, pale skin, as it should be. Didn't quite make the kind of a film.
It's because you need more than just a cameo of him, because he's too cool to delve into.
But you do.
He's so cool looking.
But by the time he gets to Winter Falcon and Winter Soldier, if the rumor holds up, he's already in this bar hanging out and doing shit. So he's already Omega Red being Omega Red.
Right.
What if there was a movie that came out, I don't know, that had something to do with Russia? Or maybe Russian assets, or superheroes in Russia, or superhuman figures involved in that area. Like, what if there was a series, and let's just not, maybe it wasn't just about Russia, but it was about Russia in the past, or something that came up in the past. Like,
you're gonna have to do that, because I don't know
showing the MCU in Russia back in the day. What if there was something like that that allowed this character to be shown, and it came out soon because I don't want to wait for it.
I think our friend, which we're definitely gonna have an Infinity Watch pod for this, is talking about the return of a certain Spider-related character, and I'm not talking about Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wait, we're not.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Black Widow, man. That takes place in Russia.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I knew what you were talking about.
Both of you set me up like that and just teed off on me.
I just sat back and just let it happen.
Anyway,
if only there was something coming out soon.
All right, so we'll get into depth of Black Widow very soon.
Well, the other circumstantial evidence about that, I do believe that with Taskmaster being the main villain, it would stand to reason that with him being known to be introduced, Omega Red could show up as like an experiment. You have one for like 30 seconds, and at the end of it, he's the end credit.
Well, I was kind of hoping
he's running and he's like, "Let me show you how to do it the real way." And then Taskmaster trains Omega Red.
I was kind of hoping that's who Harbor was, but it turned out not to be so.
No, he's the Red Guardian.
Yeah.
But
is a little bit less well known than Russian hero.
I'll settle for that or Colossus. Either one, Marvel.
Well, and
Omega Red or Colossus.
Taskmaster. Here's the thing: he doesn't just train villains in the MCU. He trains heroes too.
Oh. Yeah.
He's neutral.
Shield.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Tony Masters, I see you.
Was he a Captain America bad guy? Like
he was an Avengers bad guy to start off with.
Avengers.
Yeah.
I would have brought that book, but that one is on the East Coast for sure. I don't.
He's in the Spider-Man game, and he's a lot of fun. He's in the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man game I finished, by the way. It's fantastic.
He's great because he's a prick. He's cocky. He runs in, does some shit. Like he's just enough.
Oh, he's super cocky.
He rolls out and like, I'll see you in the third act, bitch.
You fight him like three times. It's annoying.
Yeah.
But anyway, Potter, should we take another break before we get to the last segment with you?
Yeah. One last little break.
One last little commercial break. So we'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned. We are back, everybody, to finish up the show, and we just got one little segment to do, which is we call the Creator's Corner, where we celebrate a artist, writer, inker, whatever it may be, or a team.
Publisher, producer, whatever, editor,
yeah. Because a lot of these editors are really very important to the creative process, obviously.
Yeah.
So, take it away, Mr. Potter.
So, I didn't grab any representation of his work, but because we mentioned him,
he doesn't have much out there.
No, because we've mentioned him so much, and especially with the new books. Actually, I want to pitch two to you guys. Next time, I want to discuss either or both Al Ewing and Jason Aaron. I think
Jason,
I
don't have the library. We're good. I got Wolverine and Thor. You got to tell me about him. All right.
Jason Aaron, Wolverine, Thor, Star Wars, Conan the Barbarian. He's running rampant through
so much. He's writing
epics
Avengers
of,
right
Marvel.
now. At least Jason Aaron is, and Al Ewing is no stranger to epicness too. I really want to discuss, now that I've read it all the way, No Road Home, Avengers No Road Home. With
I got to refresh my memory, but
that's one you should read if you haven't, John. It's a lot of fun. It basically brings back Hercules more prominently.
Oh.
Yeah.
It actually sets up the current volume of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is Al Ewing. Makes sense, right? It's like Donny Cates doing all of his Null and symbiote shit, which I love. I'm not saying it's shit. I'm saying I love it. It's amazing. So yeah, read No Road Home. I definitely want to talk that one. Immortal Hulk, and then anything from Aaron. I mean, the guy is phenomenal. So I just want to celebrate those two, especially because we talk a lot about the artwork, but recently, I mean, as a kid, I would always look at the artwork. Now, growing up and being an adult, I appreciate both, but I tend to lean more towards the stuff that I think is really well written. That's what I buy on the regular. Which is always going to be Jason Aaron or Al Ewing or Donny Cates or Dan Slott or any of those guys. I mean,
really wish
Kelly Sudakane.
DC and I really wish DC and Marvel would share writers and artists more. I know they don't. They usually just wait till the other one is tired of being at a certain company and like, I go try something new. Like Bendis is now, obviously he was Mr. Marvel for so long,
right?
Brian Michael Bendis, but now he's all over DC.
Well, didn't someone from DC just jump to Marvel though too? Because like I said, they swap back and forth.
They do.
Yeah.
But somebody big just
when
came
their
over,
contracts
I thought,
are up.
but I'm not sure who the hell it was.
I don't remember.
Possibly, but I know that they probably try to steal Scott Snyder, but DC's not letting him go.
Well,
or
Snyder's going to finish
King.
out Dark Knight's Death Metal is coming out in May, I think.
Snyder's awesome. He's one of my favorites.
Going back, I just realized I follow him on Twitter, and he was saying how wild and crazy this death metal kind of finish to that death metal universe of DC is going to be. And he was like, "We're going all out. We're going to do all these crazy things." That was totally
Capullo's idea too, because Capullo's like super metal.
Oh yeah,
he's like heavy metal music for sure.
Absolutely,
he always talks about it.
What's interesting is he was talking about all of that stuff. And then we get the new, like, we're just going to go completely, balls to the wall. Essentially, we're gonna throw out all the stops, do all this crazy stuff. Then Dan Didio, I really wish I knew how to say his last name correctly.
I know. I've seen it in print so many times.
Didio.
I think
it's Didio.
I think it is. Yeah. So then he gets let go, fired, whatever. Now I think it's confirmed he was fired.
Yeah.
I don't
think it's confirmed by the company,
but it's pretty. Yeah. And then we get the rumor that DC Publishing might close. So it's interesting that Snyder would tweet about how crazy this is going to be and how they're just going to go all out. So I wonder if even then they kind of knew something was coming down.
Oh, I'm sure these guys have known for a while.
But you got to think, even if the rumor ends up being not true, DC is still progressively moving towards a new reboot.
Yes.
So they have to bookend everything.
Yes,
because they're trying to reboot again.
Absolutely.
Which I think leads into the point that maybe that's just the destiny of these characters, is they're going to have to end up kind of like almost like Disney IP, where you get your story kind of told and maybe retold a few different ways because it is so ingrained.
Yeah.
But not to backtrack too much.
No. I just figured that'd be a good wrap up, and conclusion.
Just really quick, just to put a capper on that, I would, especially the crossover stuff or the artists switching teams, I would love to see Jason Aaron write Superman.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be so awesome. And maybe someday we'll get that, hopefully.
And I would love to see Donny Cates write Batman.
Yes, that would be brilliant. Or Chip Zdarsky, because if you haven't read Chip Zdarsky's run on Daredevil, you're missing on one of the best comic books out there.
It's so good.
That one and Invaders, which is all about it's a Neymar story, which is cool because we don't really have a Neymar book right now.
Yeah.
And Neymar's somebody they really want to get into the MCU.
I hate Namor, but I love to hate Namor. That's the thing.
You can come on back, folks. Come on back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still open shop, even though we're recording a podcast. But please enjoy. This is the best room in the whole place anyway. That's why we do it back here.
Right.
So anyway, but that's pretty much going to do it, I guess, then. Yeah. We've covered everything we wanted to, and one more plea to AT&T, please don't shut down DC. But I really do think something's going to happen that's going to save them
or they might save themselves with the new publishing that's
Superman is the one that got this whole thing started. If it wasn't for Superman, we wouldn't have all this.
Yeah.
He's the one who got it started. Like, there was comics before him.
Yeah.
But 1938, whatever, November or whenever it came out.
If the 50s didn't kill him, they're okay. The 50s did not take him out.
The Comics Code, when the Comics Code came in.
Yep, exactly.
No more, just, what is it, corrupting our youth.
Yeah.
That's the music. That's music's job. Anyway, all right. So this is Off the Rack. I am Danny Villalobos.
John Hudson.
Joshua Potter.
We'll see you next time at the Rack.
Let's do it. Let's get this finishing.
5, 4.
I'm not even gonna clap it. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, forgot about the clap.
Just we can just do it.
3, 2.